going on YouTube? Um, Honestly, realistically, I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope everyone's enjoying their day. I'm not gonna lie, it's been tough. It's been tough, like 24 hours. Um, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. I think that realistically, when you operate from emotion only and don't really act accordingly, that can damage relationships and people in your life. And I think that it's very important to be aware of your reactions and be aware of your emotions and be aware of how you treat people, exactly on how you're feeling. And I think that a lot of the time when you react towards people in an emotional way, most of the time there's going to be maybe something happening to you in that day and it just reflected throughout the day. And I think that something that I always like to tell people is, just pay attention of how you're feeling, and if you can't have a conversation in that moment because of what you're feeling, what you felt in the couple hours, and that's gonna reflect towards them or harm them, etc., then try to be more aware with it. And I think that that's a very important lesson that I think everyone should take account of, just because realistically, like, the way that you speak to people, the way that you tell people things is very important. Um, and I think that realistically, obviously, something that I've dealt with in the past, and I think that if you did come across this video, it's probably a sign for you to also kind of understand this as well. And basically, just don't let your feelings take control over everything. I think that's just it happened to me. I want to say like 24 hours ago, and it was not a good time. And I felt like I caused damage to people that I care about, and I think that it's very important to not do those things. And the main two emotions that I'm mainly talking about is probably just like anger. I think that anger is a very, very big thing, and anger should. How do I explain this? Anger is probably one of the most damaging emotions that you have, because some people that are angry, because they're unable to control themselves, they harm people physically or mentally. And I think that's a very important thing that you should take account, and always take control of your anger, because at the end of the day, if you control your anger, you can control everything else in your life, because that means that you won't spill out that negativity, you won't harm people, you won't cause different things. Like, for example, you see people have like those serious cases of road rage, and they literally like just crash out completely and they try to harm people. Someone told me a story once, um, that they watched someone die on the road because someone got so angry that he cut him off, that he crashed into him, and then he whipped out a hammer and then just started beating him with the hammer in the head, and then he died. And I think that realistically, anger is super, super damaging, and it's one of those big emotions that, I mean, if you look at it in a religious way, which I'm Muslim, I think that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he literally said, if you can control your anger, you can control everything else. And I think that that's very true. If you can control, realistically, if you control your anger, you could just control whatever happens in your life, regardless. Because at the end of the day, anger is like a snap of a finger, and it takes control of your life and what you say and what you do. And I think that a lot of people fail to those things, and that's why maybe they're also kind of failing to maybe build more relationships, failing to grow as a person, and all these different things, because they get stuck because they let their emotions drive them. And realistically, this video is going to be super short, but that's all I really, really wanted to talk about. I just wanted to get that out of my chest. Realistically, don't let your anger win. I think that, sure, being angry might be like a way of releasing maybe frustration or tension or stress, but I think that you have to do it in a way where you don't harm people, especially mentally, and also physically. I'm not saying I hit somebody. I'm saying realistically, like, just verbally, being able to be angry and tell somebody something isn't the highest IQ thing that you can do. And I think some of the things that you can do that's going to help you kind of release that anger is maybe just spending time by yourself, maybe working out, maybe going out for a run, like physical activities that you can do by yourself that don't involve other people, because if there's somebody else and they might trigger you, you might lash out. Um, and yeah, and honestly, I just wanted to make this quick video. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching.